What is a GMO?
It's genetically
Genetically manufactured. Oh.
What is a GMO?
General modified ingredient, right?
What is a GMO?
It's something modified.
What is a GMO?
I know it's like some corn bad stuff, right? I know it's bad, but to be completely honest with you, I have no idea.
What is a GMO?
I don't know, so I really don't care. It doesn't affect me. I'm not sick. I'm fine. So.
What is a GMO?
Well, I'm not really sure. You have to make me familiar with that. What is a GMO?
GMOs are genetically modified organisms. When it comes to plants, there are 8 GMO crops. GMOs are adapted with beneficial traits that help them thrive in their environment. Think drought-tolerant corn or pest-resistant soybeans that need less bug spraying. That helps farmers, and better harvests benefit everyone, impacting what's available at the store and what we can put on our plates. Here's how it works. Plants get instructions for growth and development from their DNA, which contains thousands of genes. Researchers zero in on the gene containing specific instructions for a desirable trait. A copy of that gene goes into the DNA of host plant cells, which are grown into mature plants. Only after years of rigorous testing are the seeds from those plants made available to farmers. No syringes, no frankenfood. And much faster than traditional plant breeding methods alone. And with food demand expected to grow significantly by 2050, GMO seeds can help farmers sustainably grow enough.
What are some of the cons of GMOs?
They could trigger allergies, and studies have been done where rats eat GM crops for months and they had significant kidney and liver damage.
GMO's Big Five: corn, soy, cotton, beets, and canola, which are used to produce high fructose corn syrup, vegetable oils, and sugar. These ingredients have long been established as primary contributors to diseases like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Why are most GMO crops unhealthy choices for our diets? They are sprayed heavily with glyphosate, the active ingredient in Monsanto's iconic herbicide Roundup. According to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, Roundup is a Class 2A carcinogen. While Roundup is failing miserably to do its job as the wonder pesticide it's claiming to be, it's unfortunately succeeding in putting farmers and consumers unwittingly at risk to the big C.
What are some of the pros of GMOs?
Some of the plants produce their own pesticides, so there is no need for farmers to spend time and money spraying the crops.
Let's look at some positive examples. Eggplant is an important crop in Bangladesh, but often whole harvests are destroyed by pests. Farmers had to rely heavily on pesticides. Not only was this very expensive, farmers also frequently got sick. The introduction of a new GM eggplant in 2013 stopped this. The same Bt protein we talked about before, an effective killer of insects but harmless to humans, was engineered into them. This reduced insecticide use on eggplants by more than 80%. The health of farmers improves and their income rose dramatically.
Also, some food has been increased in nutritional value.
In many places today, the poor are suffering from vitamin A deficiency due to a lack of beta-carotene in their diets. Some crops can be hybridized to produce beta-carotene, however rice unfortunately isn't one of them. Rice is a staple food for much of the world, but is missing 2 of the proteins needed to make beta-carotene. In the 90s, work began on filling these gaps with the hope of eventually eliminating the disease. The missing genes were found in daffodil and soil bacterium genomes, and this new crop was called golden rice. However, the amount of beta-carotene it produced was a little low, so the scientists continued their work. By 2005, the daffodil gene had been replaced with the corn version, increasing beta-carotene 23 times. This was a breakthrough in the fight against vitamin A deficiency, but it's not gone smoothly. Vitamin A deficiency kills more people annually than HIV or malaria and tuberculosis combined, many of who are under 5. That is, every 20 seconds on average, a child dies.
How could the GMO controversy end?
Companies should just label their products if they contain GM foods.
Should GMO foods be labeled? Yes. Here are the top 5 reasons why. According to a poll conducted by MSNBC.com, more than 90% of Americans want genetically engineered foods to be labeled. 64 countries from regions around the globe are already accurately labeling GMOs. These nations support their citizens' right to know what's in their food. 6 different studies have proven that GMO labeling will not increase food costs. All 64 countries that label GMOs can also confirm that no label change has ever resulted in a food price hike, because prices on the market are actually determined by factors like shopper demographics and brand competition. Farmers are informed when they are buying transgenic seeds, so they know exactly what they are cultivating. So if farmers get to know it when they grow it, why can't consumers read it before they eat it? Proper species identification is truthful labeling. Historically, hybrid foods created through traditional hybridization techniques have been differentiated from traditional foods. Tangelos, a hybrid cross between tangerine and pomelo, are not sold as tangerines because they're not regular tangerines. The same principle should apply to transgenic foods like soy, corn, or salmon. Traditional foods are what people expect as the norm. Anything different from the norm should be labeled. GMOs should be labeled.